Hello guys, glad to have you back in my channel. Halloween is approaching. Spooky costumes for adults and kids are in sale. Some of them might send a shiver to your spine, like zombies, clowns, or spiders, etc. To some extent, Halloween is about celebrating people's biggest fear. Then today's article is from National Geographic, and it's going to explain why getting scared can feel so good. Experts weigh in on the biological and psychological response that makes fear pleasurable. Weigh in, we've learned in episode 90. It has nothing to do with weight on the scale. It means to join the discussion, 参与讨论或者是发表意见. For example, can you have coffee when you're sick? Experts weigh in.Experts weigh in 在新闻里面用的特别多，就是咱们中文的专家回应等等。标题的意思是专家对生物学和心理学角度回应恐惧是一种乐趣，发表了意见。This year, more than 1,030 people entered for a chance to pay for one night in a hotel room, a supposedly haunted room, where someone was decapitated by her lover.The lottery's popularity is just one example of the widespread devotion to scaring ourselves silly. There are good reasons, psychological and physical, we like to spook ourselves. A supposedly haunted room. 据说是闹鬼的房间。Supposedly is allegedly. A house is haunted. 就是房子闹鬼。那 haunt 还有另外一个意思，就是挥之不去的。Memory keeps haunting him. Decapitate 就是砍头斩首。很多人付费呢，在闹鬼的房间里体验住宿一晚。Lottery here refers to the chance of encountering a ghost in a haunted room. Scare oneself silly is very scared that you stop behaving sensibly. 吓傻了。Of course, you could swap scare with laugh or drink or eat. For example, eat yourself silly in 成都。在成都吃爽了，吃撑了。Spook someone is to scare him or her. We met this adjective in the very first episode. Spooky, 吓人的。形容圣诞节的各种打扮用的就是 spooky costumes or decor.Our biological fear response is incredibly complex, involving neurotransmitters and hormones infecting areas across the brain from the amygdala to the frontal lobe. This complex response activates other emotions, both unpleasant like stress and pleasurable like relief. Our bodies have evolved to respond to what's scaring us by preparing to fight or run, by dilating our pupils so we can see better, widening our bronchi so we can take in more oxygen.And diverting blood and glucose to vital organs and skeletal muscles. Fight or run is another way to say fight or flight. So remember that in the episode on how to calm down in conflict. Dilate the pupils, 放大瞳孔。那女性生产的时候呢，阴道扩张用的也是 dilate. Widen the bronchi 是扩张支气管。Divert blood and glucose.把血液和葡萄糖转移到重要的器官和肌肉上。While there are several biological terms, which are frequently used in general knowledge books about biology, so you might as well bear one or two in mind in case they jump out at you. The full body effect of fear can be exhilarating, and psychologically, we can feel satisfaction or even triumph when the object of fear goes away.Facing scary things can desensitize some people to their triggering effects since nothing bad happened, but it can also have a downside. Some people get more pleasure or relief from such encounters and find themselves flirting with danger when they shouldn't. Exhilarate is to make someone very happy and excited. 那么对于害怕的全身反应是令人兴奋的。心理上，当令人害怕的东西消失的时候，我们会感觉到满足，甚至是有取胜的感觉。Desensitize 是脱敏，那 sensitize 就是致敏的。Desensitized allergic to pollen， 对花粉脱敏。Netflix is desensitizing you to murder， 奈飞让你对谋杀脱敏，也就是说对谋杀没啥反应了。Flirt with danger， 和危险调情。直面恐惧能够让一些人对害怕的东西脱敏，但它也有坏处，那很多人就去追求这种刺激和危险。If you've noticed that scary fun like haunted houses and horror movies often target teenagers and young adults, there is a connection there too. There is the age demographic really trying to come to grips with mortality, what they do fear and how brave they can be. Because facing fears is part of adulthood across cultures. It's very often a social undertaking. Very often it's youth. They're testing themselves to see if a haunted house is really haunted. come to grips with mortality, 直面死亡。Come to grips with something is to face up and deal with something. For example, we have to come to grips with history, 直面历史 or Wall Street is coming to grips with how wrong it's been. 很多鬼屋恐怖电影都是针对青少年的，因为直面恐惧是成人的一部分。A social undertaking, 社会事业 Undertaking 学过了177期杭州 Asian Games opening new inspiring chapter for China's sports undertaking 打开了体育事业的新篇章。So do you like scary movies or act sports that exhilarate you and give you a sense of freedom or relief? Just tell me by sending bullet comments. This is Headlines. I'll see you next time.